Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is German media cast strong Florian Wirtz verdict after Slovakia defeat. The German media have delivered a strong verdict on Florian Wirtz following Germany's 2-0 defeat to Slovakia in Thursday night's World Cup qualifier. The back-to-back Bundesliga Player of the Year now finds himself under a brighter spotlight following his £116 million move to Liverpool this summer. After 3 games, the attacking midfielder has shown signs of struggling to adapt to the pace and physicality of the Premier League, having yet to score or assist, despite registering 21 goals and 23 assists across his last 2 league campaigns combined. Liverpool themselves are going through some early teething issues, yet they have still managed to win all 3 games and sit top of the table heading into the international break. Even so, the fact that the German media are already highlighting Wirtz's difficulties is not an encouraging sign. Before delving into what Wirtz's national media said about him, it's worth looking at his performance from a statistical standpoint. While there was a lot of criticism over his performance, the 22-year-old still managed to get the joint second-best rating on SofaScore among the German team, having made 4 key passes and created 1 big chance. It seems, however, that the media would rather focus on the negatives following a hair-pulling defeat. He also only won 3 of his 10 ground duels, lost possession 21 times, and only managed a pass success rate of 79%. As such, this warranted a rating of just 5 out of 10 from Bewley News, who wrote, "Germany's only real creative spark of the evening, Wirtz provided 3 key passes and nearly scored following a brilliant solo run in the first half. However, he also lost the ball leading up to the home side's opener and, rather than tracking back, got involved in an argument with a Slovakian player. He appeared frustrated for large parts of the game, and understandably so. Bild labeled Germany's defeat as an historical embarrassment, before then grading Wirtz's performance a 5, which, in their model of 1 to 6, is the second lowest score he could have received. Sport 1 gave him the same score, noting, "He noticeably pulled himself together at the start of the second half, but nothing came of it. He couldn't live up to the demands placed on him, partly because he eventually disappeared again." Elsewhere, Bavarian Football Works wrote, "The attack looks toothless and the options at bench did not satisfy either. Florian Wirtz looked stuck and unhappy and, despite his best attempts, could not outplay his markers." Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our second news is Toni Kroos makes baffling claim about Alexander Isak after his £125 million Liverpool move. Liverpool were one of the busiest teams in the summer transfer window this season. The Reds have spent over £400 million on improving their first-team squad and, even though only a few of their new signings have been able to play together, it's clear that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. They've already started their Premier League campaign off in emphatic fashion as they've managed to win all of their first 3 games. However, since Isak was only brought in on deadline day, Liverpool's fans are yet to see the full ability of their new-look team with the Sweden international leading their attacking line. Toni Kroos believes most people won't know about Alexander Isak. Last season, Isak was one of the best strikers in the world as he managed to bag over 20 Premier League goals. And, now that he's joined Liverpool, it's expected that he'll do even better with the likes of Mohamed Salah and Florian Wirtz, the ones now supplying him. However, while speaking on his podcast, in quotes relayed by Mundo Deportivo, former Real Madrid midfielder Toni Kroos doesn't think that many people will have heard of the Sweden international. "I trust our listeners, but I'd say that roughly half of them have never even heard of Isak. Judge for yourselves." Seriously, he said. Liverpool are going to be almost impossible to stop this season. Even though there were only a handful of teams who managed to get the better of Arne Slot's men last season, it feels like even fewer will this season. Last term, Liverpool were one of the most dominant forces in Europe and, even though their Champions League campaign ended rather prematurely, they did end up losing to the eventual winners, Paris Saint-Germain. However, now that the likes of Isak, Wirtz, and Jeremy Frimpong are among the Reds' ranks, it's hard to see how they won't be even better this season. At the moment, these are all ifs, buts, and maybes, of course, but if their first few games of the campaign are anything to go by, they should be able to cruise toward the top-flight title this term. Liverpool fans are hoping for record signing Alexander Isak to get his first action of the season as Sweden face Slovakia on Friday. Reds fans have been understandably excited after securing the signing of Isak on Monday's transfer deadline day and cannot wait to see him in action. Given the insertion of an international break in September, their first glimpse of their new number 9 will be while playing for his country. Isak could play for Liverpool against Burnley on September 14th, but having not featured at all in pre-season, supporters may have to be patient. The same may be true of Isak for Sweden, although it seems likely that the 25-year-old will play at least some part in their World Cup qualifier. And in the build-up to the match, Isak has been spotted looking incredibly sharp during training. Our third news is CEO confirms Liverpool beat Newcastle to wonderkid transfer after attractive offer. A CEO has confirmed that Liverpool beat Newcastle to another transfer. All eyes were on Alexander Isak and his standoff with the Magpies this summer. This ultimately got Liverpool wrapped up into a never-ending saga which saw the Reds clash with Newcastle a couple of times. The first was when Liverpool approached to sign Isak. This prompted Newcastle to act by making a move for Hugo Ekitike, but this only forced Liverpool's hands. They wanted to sign both Ekitike and Isak, which meant Richard Hughes quickly swooped in to complete a deal for the Frenchman, while the wording around the time was that Newcastle wanted to play a 4-4-2 with Ekitike and Isak. They will have to settle for Nick Woltmade and Young Wissa. Liverpool meanwhile got the deal over the line for Isak as well. He will now join an exciting new attack that has started brilliantly, with Ekitike having 4 goal contributions in his first 4 competitive games for the club. Ultimately, having lost their star player and number 1 target to replace him, Liverpool's activity in the market has been a bitter blow to Newcastle. But it turns out Ekitike wasn't the only player whose signature the Reds won over Newcastle this summer. It has been now confirmed by Parma's CEO that Eddie Howe's team also wanted to sign Giovanni Leone. Parma CEO, Federico Cherubini, told Gazzetta di Parma, via Parma Live, that Newcastle had made a better offer for the club but they turned that down. I've always said that the club, along with the owners, wanted to keep Giovanni, and he's always said he'd be happy to stay, Cherubini said. We even turned down an offer from Newcastle, which was more advantageous than the one Liverpool eventually made. In the end, after Leone communicated his desire to join Liverpool, Parma were forced into agreeing an attractive offer from the Reds. When the Reds came forward, our plans changed, both because the offer was very attractive and because Giovanni made it clear he was very happy to take advantage of this opportunity, Cherubini continued. On the one hand, it's obviously disappointing to have lost such a promising player, but on the other, there's pride in a club like ours and recognition for those who believed in this boy in unsuspecting times, when he'd only played a few games in Serie B. So, Newcastle had come in for Leone and had failed to get him over the line, just for Liverpool to swoop in and bring him in. Even though Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards were all mates at Portsmouth with Eddie Howe while working under Harry Redknapp, they can't be popular figures with the Newcastle hierarchy at the moment. It's just business at the end of the day, and ultimately Hughes was only doing his job and working in the best interest of Liverpool. Leone could become an integral part of the club's future. Stay tuned for more updates and don't miss subscribe. Our fourth news is Thomas Tuchel explains England decision as Marc Guehi responds to Liverpool transfer blow. Crystal Palace defender Marc Guehi was frustrated to see his transfer to Liverpool collapse on deadline day, but he was in good spirits as he joined up with England for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. Liverpool's deadline day swoop for Crystal Palace star Marc Guehi was thwarted at the last minute. The Reds tabled a $47 million, £35 million, bid on Saturday, complete with a 10% sell-on clause. Despite Palace reportedly holding out for $54 million, £40 million, an agreement was reached, paving the way for Guehi to secure his move. The England international was poised in London, awaiting the go-ahead to sign on the dotted line for Liverpool. However, the deal fell through after Palace failed to secure a replacement and subsequently withdrew their consent, despite a deal sheet having been submitted to the Premier League. It has since emerged that Palace chairman Steve Parish had a ridiculous reason for postponing a transfer meeting with Guehi on deadline day. The botched transfer has reportedly left Guehi fuming, and he is said to be planning to reject any new contract offers and depart Palace as a free agent when his current deal runs out next summer. Yet, despite his disappointment, Guehi was seen grinning from ear to ear as he joined his England colleagues on Tuesday. England manager Thomas Tuchel disclosed that he had given his squad Monday off due to it being transfer deadline day. He explained, "It is one reason why we called the players up on Tuesday, to not have all these mixed emotions. They come on Tuesday, so they have one day off. We also didn't want to have that week too long. We wanted to streamline it towards the Saturday game and start on the Tuesday afternoon with training." But one part of the decision was also to give them the freedom to sort out maybe their transfer issues and the transfer subjects that come their way. So, yeah, of course we're interested. We need to know where we have to drive on the weekend. Guehi is a crucial part of Tuchel's World Cup strategy and is anticipated to play in the forthcoming World Cup qualifiers against Andorra and Serbia. On the failed transfer, ex-Liverpool boss Roy Hodgson said, having been led to believe sooner or later a deal would be done between the clubs, "I guess that his head for the last period of time has been he was going to move. He's the loser in the situation. Palace should be the winner because he's such a good player, and to have a player, captain and leader of that caliber should be advantageous." But it remains to be seen how upset he may have been by what's happened during these past few hours. I think the transfer situation could have been sorted out much quicker between both clubs. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our fifth news is Anthony Elanga opens up about Alexander Isak move from Newcastle United to Liverpool. News. Anthony Elanga opens up about Alexander Isak move from Newcastle United to Liverpool. 37 seconds ago. 4 comments share. Anthony Elanga has been quizzed on Alexander Isak moving from Newcastle United to Liverpool. The two players, and Emil Croft, currently amongst the players away with Sweden for 2 big World Cup group qualifiers. Ahead of facing Slovenia on Friday night, Anthony Elanga speaking to the media in Sweden. Elanga and Alexander Isak are 2 of the biggest stars, and there has been massive interest for football fans in Sweden this summer, with the moves by both players to different Premier League clubs. Anthony Elanga opening up about signing for Newcastle United and the eventual move for Alexander Isak to Liverpool, the NUFC winger speaking to Fotbollskanalen whilst on international duty. The project, at Newcastle United, is good. We have started well in the first 3 games. It's just a shame that we haven't won. But I'm happy with my choice. We have good players, very good leaders, and hopefully we can have a good season. I want to win everything. I want to win everything at that club. We have many important games this season. It's the League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. Hopefully we can win everything with the team. Anthony Elanga asked about Alexander Isak. Isak is a Liverpool player right now. He has had a good career in Newcastle, but right now he is a Liverpool player. Good luck. Has it been strange for you to be friends with Alexander Isak while your team supporters are chanting against him? He's a fantastic player and a very good person. Now he is a Liverpool player, but I have the opportunity to play with him in the national team. How have you and the others in the Newcastle United team experienced the turbulence surrounding Alexander Isak? It has been chill. He had a contract with us and now he's with Liverpool. We all think he is a very good player. We lost a good player, but we also signed good players. Hopefully we can look forward and focus on this season. Considering your friends, did you think it was sad that he left? It's his choice. He chose Liverpool. Best of luck. He's a friend of mine and a fantastic footballer. I'll have the opportunity to play with him in the national team, and that's also good. How much did you talk to him during the rumors about him leaving? We mostly talked about how I was feeling and how happy I was about the move to Newcastle United. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Our last news is Liverpool star rejected transfer exit in second blow after Florian Wirtz snub. Florian Wirtz opted to snub a move to Bayern Munich in favor of a switch to Liverpool, and it appears the Reds ruined another of the German giant's summer transfer plans. Liverpool star Cody Gakpo has revealed that Bayern Munich were keen to sign him before he penned a new deal with Liverpool. The Dutch forward signed a new contract with the Reds earlier this summer, which extends his stay at Anfield until 2030. And while the announcement over his new deal caught many off guard, Gakpo has since suggested that negotiations took well over a year to conclude. He has also admitted that German giants Bayern Munich made their interest in signing him known should he not commit his future to Liverpool. If the future is uncertain, then it will just be a very difficult story, Gakpo said to ESPN Netherlands. I think it took us a year. Maybe a little longer or shorter, but it's just a long process. From what I understand, they, Bayern, have come, but in the end they have bought Luis Diaz. It's nice. Of course, I have experienced it differently myself. Such a transfer window can be hectic and stressful for a player and everyone around him. That doesn't bother me anymore. It's difficult, because a lot is happening. Other clubs come to you, but you may want to keep your own club. Everyone deals with it in their own way, but it is certainly difficult. If the future is uncertain, then it will just be a very difficult story. And while Bayern were left frustrated in their pursuit of Liverpool star Gakpo, the Reds also dealt another massive blow to the German side's summer plans. They were reportedly interested in a deal for Florian Wirtz. But Liverpool steamed in to secure his services for around £116 million, with Bayern chief Max Eberl suggesting that the Germans were unable to compete with Liverpool from a financial standpoint. Wirtz decided otherwise despite the fact that the talks were very positive, Eberl said. I don't know that we could have paid the price that Liverpool is now reportedly playing. One's initial reaction is, damn it, but whenever one door closes another opens. Now we will reposition ourselves for the future, Eberl continued. Florian will make his way in Liverpool. Now we will try to find another outstanding player who will be successful with us. In the end, Bayern bolstered their side with two Premier League stars. Luis Diaz arrived at the Allianz Arena for £65.5 million, while Nicholas Jackson was signed on loan from Chelsea. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC Transfer HQ news. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals.